Most YouTubers chase fame their entire lives. They want more subscribers, more views, more money, more attention. But this man did the exact opposite. He built something the entire world fell in love with, and then quietly walked away from all of it. This is the story of Luke Nichols. And these 5 facts will completely change how you see one of the most genuine human beings on the internet. Let's go. Fact 1. He gained 12 million subscribers in just 18 months, then posted one final video called Goodbye, and walked away from everything. Luke Nichols started Outdoor Boys in 2015. No viral gimmicks, no controversy, no drama. Just a man camping quietly in the Alaskan wilderness with his wife and 3 sons. Simple, wholesome, real. For years, almost nobody noticed. Then something happened. The world found him. In just 18 months, 12 million people subscribed to his channel. 12 million. In a year and a half, people were stealing his content and reposting it everywhere, meaning he and his family had been viewed over 4 billion times across the internet. 4 billion. Without him choosing it, behind the scenes, the reality was brutal. Late-night editing sessions, packing and unpacking for trips in freezing temperatures, rebuilding a homestead while injured, camping alone in the Alaskan wilderness with pneumonia. He made 1,110 videos over 11 years. Over 1,000 videos. A decade of his life poured into a camera. And then on May 17, 2025, at the absolute height of his fame, he posted one final video. He called it Goodbye. In it, he said his wife and he had real concerns about what this would do to their family if he kept growing at this pace. No scandal, no controversy, no burnout. Just a father looking at his children and choosing them over 19 million subscribers. Walking away from everything at the very top is something almost nobody in this world has the courage to do. Fact 2. Before Luke Nichols was teaching you all how to start a fire in a snowstorm, he was defending criminals in court and writing handbooks about drunk driving. Most people have no idea who Luke Nichols was before YouTube. He wasn't always the calm outdoorsman camping peacefully in Alaska. For years, he was a criminal defense attorney in Virginia. Suits, courtrooms, legal briefs. He built his own law firm called Nichols and Green and spent a decade defending people charged with serious crimes. And in his spare time, he wrote law books. The Virginia Reckless Driving Handbook, the Virginia DUI Handbook, a guide on driving on a suspended license, a Virginia Drug Crimes Defense Manual. This man, who now teaches children how to build shelter in a blizzard and cook fish over an open fire, once spent his days writing about what happens when you drive drunk. The same calm, quiet voice that walks you through survival techniques in the Alaskan wilderness used to stand in front of judges and defend people facing prison time. 2 completely different lives. One completely extraordinary human being. Fact 3. Most people visit Alaska as a dream holiday. Luke Nichols grew up there, where the wilderness isn't a destination. It's just Tuesday. Luke Nichols was born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska, and Alaska is not like anywhere else on Earth. This is a place where mountains dominate the skyline in every direction, where bears walk through neighborhoods, where rivers run so cold they take your breath away in seconds, where winter temperatures drop so low that survival isn't dramatic. It's just daily life. Luke didn't learn outdoor skills from a book or a YouTube video. He learned them from his father, from his grandfather, from the land itself. As a boy, he spent his days fishing for trout and salmon in glacial rivers. He saved his own money in junior high school just to buy his first fly fishing rod. He hunted in the Alaskan wilderness as a teenager. The outdoors was never a hobby for Luke Nichols. It was never an aesthetic or a brand. It was simply home. And everything the world later fell in love with watching on his channel was just him being exactly who he always was. Fact 4. A teenage boy from the Alaskan wilderness packed a bag and moved to one of the most densely populated cities on Earth, alone at 19 years old. Picture this. You grow up in Anchorage, Alaska. Wide open spaces, mountains, rivers, silence. The kind of silence you can actually hear. And then at 19 years old, you leave all of it. You pack a bag, and you move to Fukuoka, Japan. One of the busiest, most populated places on the planet. Completely alone. A different language, a different culture, a different world. Luke Nichols did exactly that, traveling to Japan as a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. A boy raised by rivers and mountains, suddenly navigating crowded streets and high-rise buildings in a country where he didn't speak the language. That experience of being completely outside your comfort zone, in an unfamiliar world, having to adapt and figure things out with nothing but your own strength, quietly shaped everything Luke Nichols became. The man who later survived alone in blizzards and built cabins from scratch in the Alaskan wilderness first learned what he was made of on the streets of Japan at 19 years old. Fact 5. After walking away from 19 million subscribers, Luke Nichols didn't retire. He took on something even bigger. Most people assumed that when Luke Nichols posted his goodbye video, that was it. Chapter closed. A quiet life in Alaska with his family. And honestly, nobody would have blamed him. He had earned it. But on December 1st, 2025, something was announced that surprised everyone. Luke Nichols was appointed to the Young Men General Advisory Council of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, a council of just 14 men chosen to guide and mentor young people across the entire global church, millions of young men, across every country on earth. He didn't leave YouTube to disappear. He left YouTube to lead. The man who spent a decade teaching people how to survive in the wild is now quietly teaching the next generation something even more important: how to survive in life. Some people walk away from fame because they are tired. Luke Nichols walked away because he had something more important to do. 12 million subscribers in 18 months? Then goodbye. A criminal lawyer who became a wilderness teacher. A boy raised by the Alaskan wilderness. A 19-year-old who found himself in Japan, and a man who left fame behind to lead the world's youth. Luke Nichols never chased the spotlight. He never needed it. He just lived honestly, quietly, and completely, and the whole world noticed. From Baron Spark, thank you, Luke, for showing us that the most powerful thing a person can do is know exactly what matters and choose it. Every single time.